the body, feelings, the mind, mind objects. The four foundations of mindfulness, Satipatthana. Literally, the four foundations of mindfulness form the base of mindfulness. They are the state of being continually aware of what happens to the five aggregates, Panchakanda, including material form, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. That means being mindful in the four areas: the body, feelings, the mind, and mind objects. 1. Kaya-nupassana satipatthana. Mindfulness of the body is to contemplate on bodily action, such as walking meditation, i.e. noting or being conscious of lifting, stepping, and placing the feet, and breathing meditation, i.e. noting the rising, falling of the abdomen. 2. Vedana-nupassana satipatthana. Mindfulness of one's feelings is to contemplate on the experience of happiness or of suffering. That is, to acknowledge happiness and to know how happy one is, or to acknowledge misery and to know how miserable one is, or to note the neutral feeling, that is neither delight nor distress. 3. Citta-nupassana satipatthana. Mindfulness of the body is to contemplate. Mindfulness of the mind is to contemplate and note what happens in the mind or consciousness, such as passion, anger, delusion, depression, distraction, or serenity. 4. Dhamma-nupassana satipatthana. Mindfulness of mind objects is to contemplate and note the phenomenon of perception, sanya kanda, and mental formations, sankhara kanda. Perception is to know something when perceiving it. Mental formations happen when we think about or comment on something. While we think, we must be mindful of thinking. When one of the five hindrances, nivarana, pleasure, kamachanda, displeasure, bhayapada, drowsiness, sthina-middha, distraction, udacha, kuchuka, or doubt, vicikiccha, arises, we must be mindful of it too. In short, the four foundations of mindfulness are the habit of continually noting with awareness. We should be conscious of what we are doing, physically and mentally, in the present moment. We should contemplate the present only, not the past or the future. Removing the roots of the cycle of rebirth. The roots of vata, the cycle of rebirth, are the cause why beings have to cycle in realms of birth and death. They are things that block, lure, and detain, causing beings to keep cycling. These four things, beauty, happiness, certainty, and selfness, are the roots of vata, by which those who do not catch on will be lured towards delusion. Because there are things that entice the heart. The practice of Vipassana, in accordance with the four foundations of mindfulness, is for the sake of removing the roots of vata. Those who have practiced contemplation of the body, kaya-nupassana satipatthana, will get rid of the idea of beauty, which is the delusive thinking that this or that is beautiful. For example, seeing the body as beautiful and desirable. Once they get a chance to develop Vipassana, noting the body by taking rising, falling as the object of meditation, The defilement of sense desire, kama raga, lessens. The mind will be at ease. The mind will be at peace, free from lust, kama. They will not even be deluded by the beauty in the sense spheres, such as the human world and the world of deities. The mind will aim only for nibbana. Those who have practiced contemplation of feelings, vedana, nupassana, satipatthana, will get rid of the attachment to happiness, which is the delusion thinking that this or that is happiness and desiring that happiness forever. Once they get a chance to develop Vipassana constantly noting feelings by taking pain or hurting as the object of meditation, their mind will become used to nature, which is the state sabhava of that feeling. This will make them feel like they can live in any way. It is all okay. Cold is okay. Hot is okay. Some pains and aches are okay. The mind thus will not become agitated and suffer accordingly, following these sense objects at Ramana. It will see in accordance with reality that things are just the way they are. The mind will not be stuck in the happiness and will always understand those kinds of states of Dhamma, Sabhava Dhamma. The mind will only rejoice in the path, fruition and nibbana. Those who have practiced contemplation of the mind, citta nupassana satipatthana, will get rid of the idea of certainty, which is the delusion thinking that this or that is something certain, or that it will last forever. Once they get a chance to develop Vipassana by taking the mind as the object of meditation, they will always see the changes in various kinds of things. One minute we think this way, the next we think in another, and so it keeps changing. It is uncertain. Although the various events in the world may change, the mind that is watching that state, sabhava, will be used to the changes. The mind will be able to catch on to sabhava dhamma, the states of dhamma. Thus it will be able to get rid of the delusion, thinking that things are certain. The mind will then delight only in nibbana. Those who have practiced dhammanupassana satipatthana, which is contemplation of mind objects, will get rid of the idea of self, that is the delusion thinking that this or that is self, up to the present. World beings all do not know what the true self is. They cannot ask themselves and cannot answer themselves. They do not know that this self is just rupa-nama. Once they get a chance to develop Vipassana by taking mind objects as the object of meditation, they will see that beings, individuals, and the self do not exist. Only rupa-nama exist. Thus, they will understand in accordance with reality and will not be attached to the self. They will catch on to the states of Dhamma, Sabhava Dhamma. The mind will delight in only nibbana.